On the sixth day of Christmas, my YouTube gave to me a stream. Early stream today. Early. I'm getting ready for a Twilight Imperium game. We're going to have at least 3 or 4 players, I believe. Wait, 4 or 5 players. 4 or 5. So I was getting ready to set up because we're T-minus an hour away, even though there will be a delay. I guarantee you someone is always late, about 15, 17, 20 minutes late. So even though I plan it as late as I can, because kids like to sleep in when they're not in school, and hey, that was me too. I slept in a lot back in the day. I used to could sleep in late, and now I can't. Good afternoon from the wayside. Good afternoon. Try and do these a little bit differently every day. But I know that morning streams will be a thing of the past after Wednesday. So get a few of these morning streams in is my plan, at least for now. And let's see. What do I want to talk about today? I had a topic. Dark greetings, always dark greetings. I had a fun topic. I should have written it down. See, I write things down now. If I don't, I always have paper. If you don't know, there's always a stack of memos. And I have tons of stacks of memos. Like this one, I have had since before I was married. And this is like super thin now, but it used to be a brick of just sticky memo. They're not sticky notes. They're just notes, posted little notes. It used to be this thick. It was from a bank. And I remember the bank was trying to get me to come work for them way back. I mean, we're talking 2004, 2003. So this is over 20 years old. And I'm doing well. I'm doing well today, by the way. But this is over 20 years old. And I had to use something else I bought in 1999. I bought some Post-it notes. They lasted until about 2003 or 4 or whatever. And then I started, no. They last until 2005 or 6, those Post-it notes. There's another big block. And then someone got me another one from that bank. And this is all that remains of that. And the bank doesn't even exist anymore. Over 20 years old. But I scribble little notes during Saturday Morning Semiflange, which, by the way, I'm wearing the shirt today, or one of the other podcasts. Yeah, I am a note guy. And so I have pins here by my thing. And so if we're talking during a podcast and someone gives me an idea, they make a comment, they make a statement, and I'm going, oh, wow. Or if I want to make another statement, but I don't want to interrupt them, and I want the conversation to go before I change it, I'll write on one of these notes. And if I just get inspired and have ideas of, top 5s or other topics, I'll write them down. Now, the reason why it's been a couple of years now, about 3 years now, I've slowed down on this because, of course, now I have my phone. One time I didn't have couldn't find a pen. So I brought my phone and pulled up the notes and put it there. Well, now I put a lot of my stuff on notes now. On my phone. So that way I don't have to worry about these little Post-it notes I used to stick at my desk or go missing. I lose them. But I still use these. These I keep. And so when I say that there's a Semiflange where I found a bunch of topics, I had written a bunch of topics down on these Post-it notes, front and back. And they got stuff. There are drawers here. There are drawers behind here. And so I stuffed them in the drawers with a bunch of other paperwork. Earlier this year, I finally was going through the drawers for something else and found a bunch of notes with leftover episodes. And that's how I did some cobbled together episodes. I don't think there are any more. I'll be honest. I didn't search the bottom drawer because I didn't put anything down there. There's like someone's scarf and then all the trash that was here when we came. I hardly ever go through these drawers, but I just happened to go through the drawers and found a few scattered here, and they must have been in some folder and gotten scattered. But that was fun. It's like a secret treasure hunt. But I still have. Oh wait, and my nephew, he did a little. You can kind of see it here. He did like a little flip cartoon a long time ago on here, where if you flip through it, they move. But there's only a few of these pictures left. So, but he made a flip book out of this at the bottom and made like little cartoon characters running and jumping on it. That was a long time ago. And I noticed that a few years back. I was like, oh, wait, he did. When did he do this? And I don't know when he did this. But I've been slowly going through these. And then I thought I lost this for a minute. I thought I'd use the last one. And I brought this stack out and I started using some of these. We have a billion of these because back in the day, they were office gifts at the bank. They were office gifts for my wife. And we have so many little Post-it notes and stuff like that. And one, I know where exactly they are. There's tons of them. I'll never go through them. But like I said, and I don't want to waste them, but I will slowly use them over time. But I do, in the middle of the thing, I don't take out my phone because that looks rude to put in a note. So what I do instead is I'll write something down real quick. And I'll ask them a question. Or if sometimes there's a question I want to ask, but I don't know if Wes or Benjamin want me to talk about it. So I'll say, hey, is it all right to talk about this and that? And they'll go, yeah, or no. There's a great Wes story. And it's very mean. It's very mean. It's a mean Wes story, but it's funny. But Wes doesn't want to come out because he's not that person anymore. And it was extremely mean. Extremely mean. But it was fun. It's funny. Well, I guess it's never funny, but if it's super mean, but it's something I think we can laugh about now, but he didn't want to do it. And I respect his wishes. And then I can't remember there may have been something with Benjamin too, that I want to know if we can bring it up yet. Bring one to Legends Con, right? Yeah. Just bring these to Legends Con. That's funny. Yeah. Like pass them out. How arrogant can I be? Here, you want my autograph? Yeah, sure. Here's a little note. There's an autograph. Here you go. You want one? Hey, here you go. I was just talking to Scott Johnson about Legends Con, how much fun it's going to be just to see. There's going to be so many people there. So I'm like going to be 50 people there. And afterwards, I'm going to apologize to 50 people saying, I'm sorry we didn't have enough time to hang out because there's so many people there. So, and here's the thing. I don't want to ignore the people that I've sat with and met before. Like, I want to be with Dylan. I saw Dylan just last September. We were both in a wedding together. God bless America. I love Dylan. But I got to see other people, because I got to see them while other people are still around. These new people. I want to meet new people. But I also want to hang with Dylan. I haven't seen Brian Borg in person in a couple of years. I really miss him. Scott Johnson, it's been over a year since I've seen him. So Tim from Open Airlock, it's been a couple of years since I've seen Tim. Probably 2 or 3 years since I've seen Tim. We met up. His work took him we were 2 hours apart. So we decided both to drive in the middle and meet in the middle and have dinner. And that was a lot of fun. So I try to meet as many people as I can. And Brennan, I just met this past October. So it'd be nice to see him again. His family's super cool. But then seeing all the new people. Wes should be proud he's not that guy anymore. Well, yeah. Yeah, Wes has changed a whole lot since then. He shakes his head when I tell him the stories because he knows it's him. But, over time, we all mellow out. Well, I think we do. If maturity lets in. And Wes, a lot of I'm a little bit more risque than Wes is now. Because Wes will go, he didn't want to talk about certain things. I'm going, really? So Wes has kind of mellowed out a little bit better. Even though that episode where we pick on Brandon for his parents being divorced is probably one of the meanest episodes I've ever done on Prince of the Universe. But Brandon took it in step and just went with it. And he is I can't wait for you to meet him because he's going to be on tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow is going to be an evening stream because we're going to do a Hot Ones challenge tomorrow. But he's just a really upstanding guy, really good guy. And there's a little bit of old West coming through, but we were just crying. We were laughing so hard after that. It wasn't a good episode either because we were laughing so much that there was a lot of dead air. And so it didn't pan out as well as we imagined in our heads, but oh well. Dylan is cool. He and I were in line getting Yoda.rendezvous signed. I told him how much I hated Wild Space. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Dylan is so much fun. And the thing is, Dylan doesn't talk as much, right? He kind of sits there. He's kind of quiet. But you can talk to him about anything, and he'll start talking. He knows so much about everything. I don't know how much Dylan wants me exposed about his life. He's an engineer, so he's super smart. But at the same time, Dylan's always reading. He's happy to talk about history. We talked history. He'll talk baseball with me. I know why he doesn't want to talk to me, because I'm very annoying. But I love talking to Dylan. I love talking to Dylan. So I think I'm rooming with him. I think we're rooming together. I believe we are. But at the con, I hope so. Dylan doesn't want that. Dylan doesn't want that. He wants to go with someone who's a lot quieter. But yeah, I love Dylan. Dylan's excellent. He's great. He's very, and like he crunches numbers. He does a lot. Like I've asked him to come on and to do team ups with me on the website, and he's refused because A, he's too busy, and B, he doesn't want to put in the time, which is fine. He's so busy with twin sons and everything else that I understand. You got to pick and choose what you want to do. Dylan did not seem that excited to see me. Of course, September, even though I was like a bunny rabbit jumping up and down. I couldn't wait. I was so excited to see him. He was the only one that didn't come out to see me when my car drove up. It doesn't matter because it's Dylan. Hello, Quentin. How are you? But Dylan is really a fun guy. And I had a lot of fun with him at the wedding too. We had a lot of fun together. The wedding is Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions. I even did a stream that night, the night before he got married. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun seeing everyone. I saw Geeks Addict for the first time. He'll be at the con. I really like Matthew a lot. And we were joking because there just wasn't enough time for us to do anything. We were expecting us to maybe go hiking in the mountains or go sightseeing or go do something, but there was zero time. Jeremy assured us there would be time, but all this wedding stuff, pictures took like 6 hours. I'm not even making that up. It was at least 5 hours worth of pictures. And it was the longest I've ever done a photo shoot for a wedding. The longest, 5.5. I'm going to say 5.5. It was forever. It was most of the day. And we were told we would have at least about 4 hours, 3 hours to ourselves. And that's when we planned to do something, but then it didn't happen. Like every square minute of our time there was busy. So we laughed because we didn't get a chance to hang out that much. And then Adam, what is he? Red 5 Reviews. We got to hang out too a little bit, but I can't wait to see him again at the convention because both of them are really fun. And they get to hang out because they both live in Oklahoma and not too far away from each other. So they'll meet up or they'll go down to Dallas for the weekend or whatever. And I'm glad they call me and say, hey, Matt, do you want to come down to Dallas for the weekend? Because it's not that far a drive from me, and I do it. But I don't get the invite because I'm not one of the cool kids. I'm kidding. I probably couldn't do it. But if I got the invite, I darn well would try, right? My wife would be so mad at me going to Dallas for the weekend. You know, waking up early that morning, spend the whole day, and come back late that night because she loves Dallas. She would want to go. Good afternoon for you. Good. Yeah, I'm trying to do some early ones here while I still can. We ranked the ELC covers. Yes, we did. What book do you think would be in the Essential Legends convention? What one book you think should be in the Essentials Legend? Well, let me check and see. That's a great question. Hello, Teresa. Good morning. Teresa, did you do a stream? And you may have mentioned one of your streams. I just can't recall because it's been so long. You didn't watch War of Rohirrim, the cartoon movie, right? I want to say you talked about that, but I couldn't find it. Like, are you going to do a stream about what the real story is? I consider Teresa's channel to be really good with Tolkien. And I mean, it's a really good channel, period. But the Tolkien reviews they did are so incredibly good. Like I had planned to do some later on that year. And when I saw Teresa's, I was like, there's no point. There's no point. I cannot be as eloquent. I really enjoyed those streams. I really enjoyed them. I know I keep harking on that one thing, and she's done great stuff. I like the chit chat, the bar hours thing where you sit down and talk to other people. That's been I got to do one of those, but it's just like a regular conversation. I really like it. Teresa does what she wants to do with her channel. You know, not to get clicks, but just something that she wants to do and have fun with. And I really love that. Really love that about the channel. But I didn't know if she'd done War of Raheem. I don't think she did. But I'd like someone to do the real story instead of what I didn't watch. I'm not going to watch the cartoon movie that came out. I didn't even know it was going to be released until it was already in theaters. I was like, what is this? And then found out it was a movie made to keep the rights, essentially. Hold on. What was I looking at? Oh, yeah. Essential Legends Collection. I have a feeling I'm going to say Jedi Academy trilogy. Yeah, let me look and see though. I'm looking and seeing. Yeah, Jedi's out, but Jedi Academy trilogy isn't, so Jedi Academy trilogy should be in there. Had to make sure before I said it, because I don't know if anything else had come out since then. Oh no, dealing with a stomach virus. Hope you do feel better. Okay, video's upcoming about the real story. Good. Because the main character in that was mentioned. She's mentioned. She is not the hero. She's not the hero. I hate, and the sad thing is that Hollywood does have a good story to tell if they were to pick the Silmarillion. That's what's aggravating. If they want to pick some of the backstory, of Tolkien's writings, there are several great stories to do. But, and not change either, because they're perfect. But anyway, I'm grumpy old Tolkien fan. Did you like Lost Tribe of the Shit Sith? No, not particularly. But remember, they were free ebooks given to us. You could buy them as a whole collection with a bonus end story. And I thought they were okay, but they're free. How can you complain about something that's free? That's the problem. If this had come out as a book, I would have hated it because I would have paid for it. Now, I knew what they were. They came out as a collection of shorts, that were free on the internet. And I bought the book knowing full well what it was. So I can't say this is garbage. In fact, I'm always happy for a free story. I just wish he skips in time a lot through them. And you can't follow one character the whole time. And so the whole story becomes like a jumble mess because who are we supposed to follow? Where's our point of view? It seems like random tidbits in history, and we're supposed to connect the dots, but it's really hard to follow a new hero every couple of books because time keeps advancing. And I really wish they would have maybe they have someone who has a Sith power of immortality. They discovered the secret to immortality, on that planet. Unfortunately, they died. They can live, they can still get killed, but if they don't die, they have immortality. And so maybe his secret of immortality dies with him, or whatever. I don't know. Something from someone's point of view that we could see the ages. But I feel like the vision was obscured throughout the entire thing, and it wasn't as good. However, these were free ebooks, so I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to say, oh, terrible. They were free. And even then, again, like I said, I did have to buy the all-in-one paperback, but I willingly did that because I wanted the collection. I want everything in book form. So I'm not even going to complain against that. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm starting to think the bias against Kevin J. Anderson is real because of Donald Zahn and stuff. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but obviously Del Rey does not like Kevin J. Anderson. There's something behind the scenes there. Kevin J. Anderson will never admit that. No one will talk about it, but obviously there's something there. Scott makes an excellent point. The New Jedi Order as Essential Legends with the Japanese covers. No, they have to use cheap, awful-looking AI covers. But the Japanese covers, I would probably buy that set. I'd love that. And then on the ends, well, they couldn't do that. Maybe do a rendition of the Japanese covers, but then on the ends together, the whole collection makes one big cover. That'd be cool. Lost Tribe of the Sith is a top 5. Is that what you just said, your cousin? Really? Wow. Hopefully I'm not hopefully I'm reading that wrong, but am I reading that wrong? Are you saying Lost Tribe of the Sith is top 5? That's incredible. That's fine, but wow. If that's what you're saying. Maybe you're saying that against Jedi Academy trilogy. Yeah, I love the Jedi Academy trilogy. I think it's right. And he's a great person. And he's going to be at Legends Con. He's super nice, super cool with fans. He's super fun. I don't know if his wife's coming or not, Rebecca Moesta, but they're fun. Anakin versus General Grievous. Anakin would win. I don't mind them exploring the Sith too, but I don't think we found out that much of the Sith, right? Because this Lost Tribe was different from any Sith we'd seen. They'd grown up differently away from the rest of the Sith. Yeah, the one that I really don't like of John Jackson Miller is Knight Errant. I think Knight Errant is horrible. It's horrible. Only because the protagonist is so bland. She is characterless. We don't know who she is. She's just not exciting. Yet the idea, the story behind it is interesting. It could be good. I like that there's a sector of Sith. They're all kind of connected, all like cousins. The grandma Sith is the evil one that kind of keeps them all in line. I like that whole idea. And she's trying to sneak, people off the planets of Sith-controlled space. That's a great idea. I would have greenlight that project too had John Jackson Miller come to me on it. I thought that was an excellent idea. But boy, Cara is so bland. She is so bland. Not likable at all. Lost Tribe is a top 5. Wow. So interesting. And Jedi Academy probably top 20s. Okay. All right. Wow. Lost Tribe. I've never heard anyone say that. So that's interesting. Again, your opinion is your opinion. It doesn't matter what I think about the book, right? You love it. So that's great. I had at one convention, someone told me with a straight face, they meant it. She said Crystal Star was her favorite Star Wars book. And I started laughing and I went, wait, you're serious? And she went, it's the best one. It's the one that she connected with the most, the one that she loved the most. I was like, Crystal Star. And it was straight face, was dead serious. I've never heard and have yet to hear anyone say they love Crystal Star that much. But she was dead serious. It was her favorite one. And at this time, all of the books had come out because this is the first time I met Christy Golden. Disney had already been bought by Lucasfilm. It was like 2014. And I was getting my book signed by Christy Golden, who told me Sword of the Jedi never existed, even though it had a cover and a release date later on that year. But she didn't write anything for it. I don't see how that's possible. But it's okay. She lied straight to my face because she had it, at least a rough draft, right? But she doesn't want to give it away for free. So I get it. But she can't be honest. Anyway, and that was when I was getting my autograph with someone else, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I love Christy Golden's work." I said, "Yeah, are these your favorite?" Yeah, it's like Fate of the Jedi. I said, "Is this your favorite series?" She went, "No." I said, "What's your favorite book?" And she went, "Probably Crystal Star." And I was like, "Whoa!" Like I said, I laughed, and then I didn't know that she was serious, but she was. So you never know. Everyone has a favorite. One person saying Lost Tribe of the Sith in their top 5. Does anyone else have Lost Tribe of the Sith in their top 5? I'm interested. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't Marcel love Crystal Star? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe sarcastically. Maybe he does. I've never asked him. Matthew Wilson, the Geeks Addict, has tons of copies of Crystal Star, and I pick on him as a lover of Crystal Star. In fact, oh well, it's not too late. No, I can't do it now. I was going to give him I was going to make a hardback version. I was going to give him I think he already has a hardback, paperback, the misprint of Crystal Star with the other book inside of it. And then he has the actual book with Crystal Star inside of it. And I was going to give him another version of Crystal Star, and I can't remember what it was back in the day, but any Crystal Star books that get donated to Twin Sons, I have kiddingly asked Brian to forward them to Geeks Addict, so we can start a collection of Crystal Star. And I'll be honest, rereading it again, I was right the first time, because I don't think I had it in my top 10 worst EU books. I don't think I did my first time through. And I'm definitely sure now it doesn't belong in the top 10 worst, maybe top 20 worst. But by all accounts, it is not a top 10 worst EU book. It is not in the top 10 of worst EU books for me, at least. One person's garbage is another person's potpourri, as the Grinch says. But yeah, but everyone has their own their own views, their own opinions and stuff. So, wow. I don't know why Darksaber hasn't been reprinted yet. Yeah, Darksaber is the exception to the rule, right? It's the one book by Kevin J. Anderson that a lot of people love. Even though they may not love Kevin J. Anderson, they love Darksaber. And then there's some people who still hate Darksaber just because they saw the name Kevin J. Anderson on it. But Darksaber is, and I think it's his best. I think it's his best too. But that's one that I see a lot of people, even though they may not like the Jedi Academy trilogy, they enjoy Darksaber. Of course, there are people who they just hate it. Now, I'll be honest. One of the other reasons a lot of people forgot is that Timothy Zahn was very snobby. When his books came out and sold New York Times bestsellers, I think he was offended that Lucasfilm kept making books that tried to connect to his. He wanted his own little world, his own little sandbox to play in. He didn't want, and eventually he would let Michael Stackpole into his world, but he was very haughty and he didn't want to share. Now he's not like that. But that kind of attitude is why people hated the other authors, Kevin J. Anderson and others alike. But you know what Dave Wolverton told me one time? He said, we weren't talking about anything. I was talking about Kevin J. Anderson, and I said, but I feel like a lot of people don't like him. Dave Wolverton thought I meant authors. He goes, let me tell you about authors. Authors he said, they're jealous of Kevin. He said, Kevin knows how to market himself. He knows how to sell books. He knows how to pitch books. And a lot of authors don't have that, they want the freedom that Kevin has, but they don't have it. So they hate him for it. He said, but Kevin, he can promote his own stuff. He can do his own stuff. He's got a big fan base because he does other things. He has his own publishing company and stuff like that. He said a lot of people who don't like Kevin, they're really jealous of him because they want what he has. And that's what Dave Wolverton, but he didn't know. I was talking about just fans. I wasn't talking about authors, but it makes sense because we were talking about different authors and everything. In fact, right before Chuck Wendig's book came out, he told me at Gen Con, I remember I was sitting there talking to him. He was the best guy to talk to. I was so sad when he passed away, Dave Farland, who we know as Dave Wolverton. But he told me, he said, Matt, he said, a lot of authors, they have a big chip on their shoulder these days because they get on social media, they get on Facebook, they get on Twitter, and they rant and rave, rant on people and, cuss people out for not liking their book or critiquing their book. But here's the thing. He said, if you're a New York Times bestselling author, why should you bother? He said, years ago, someone sent him an email telling him how bad one of his books were. And Dave said he spent most to an hour almost writing back, tearing this guy apart in an email, calling him all sorts of names, like the guy called him names, I'm the buffoon. You're a buffoon because you're wrong about this. And then he said, after almost an hour, he looked at the email and went, what am I doing? I'm a best-selling New York Times author. Why am I wasting my time, giving the business to one person who just didn't like my book? And he deleted the email. He said, I don't even listen to it. As long as my books are selling, he said, I'm happy with the product. I don't care what other people think. He went, they have their own opinions. He said, but these days, some of the younger authors, it really gets under their skin and they just do more damage to their character by attacking these people in public, which turns other people off their books. And then like a month or so later, when Chuck Wendig's book came out and everything, he started tearing people online, and he blew up and destroyed his relationship with Lucasfilm. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, visions of the future, right? Death Troopers is a good one. Well, Logan's Legacy. Let me put in this. If he stole it, that's one theory. That's one theory. And the Jedi did have their own clone army. So perhaps from a certain point of view. Remember, they didn't have the prequels back then, but you could twist that easy. I'm sure that's not what they meant, obviously, but that could be easily redirected to mean something else. But back then, I mean, Stackpole's books, right? Because they thought the Clone Wars happened 10 years later. So Stackpole's books about, Corran Horn's grandfather are way off. Timothy Zahn's books are way off on time. But then what did they do? Leland Chee said, oh, well, they were using different types of standard galactic time or whatever. And that's what they used to wash it all through. So everyone was in contradiction with not everyone, but some of the books were. But who gave them that information? George Lucas. George Lucas told Zahn that. And that's what they were going by. And then George changed his mind. So it wasn't that they didn't know or they were going. George contradicted himself. He told the novels, he set forth the precedent and then decided to change it. Now that's his prerogative. And then what did the books do? They all pivoted and started making little reasons to patch it up. It's fine. It's fine. Terrible timing. I was sleeping. You can sleep in. I'm about to go. I got a game. Michael, I'm playing Twilight Imperium today. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I forgot to check my phone. I don't know if my nephews need a ride. I may have to cut it. Let's see. Dave Wolverton was one of the most underrated authors. Yep. Courtship and Rising Force was excellent. The first book to Jedi Apprentice series was excellent. And Courtship of Princess Leia is so much fun. So much fun. But that he called it from way back when. That's incredible. He knew so much about authors. Brandon Sanderson, big author, gave a big tribute to Dave Wolverton or David Farland because that's who made him the big. And Brandon Sanderson is the most successful author to date right now when it comes to books. Okay? Probably R.R. Romero or what's her name? J.K. Rowling is probably bigger. But Brandon Sanderson had one of the largest Kickstarters ever last year or 2 years ago on his Kickstarter for books. So he's on an all-time high right now. And even he credits all his success to Dave Wolverton, who made him popular. It's amazing. How many authors Dave Wolverton impacted over time, we will probably never know. There are tons. There were so many. If you looked at Dave Wolverton tributes online, a lot of them were from other authors who said the same thing. Dave Wolverton gave me my start, or he gave me the best advice I'd ever gotten before getting in the business, or when I was trying to break into the business. So very impactful in the world of writing. All right, so right there, I'm going to stop because I don't know if I have to pick them up or not, and I got to get this to go in. But I will try again a morning stream, maybe New Year's Day. But, of course, tomorrow night, Hot Ones live streaming. I'm wearing my Saturday morning Santa Flan shirt that my wife got me for Christmas, and I'll probably be wearing another shirt tomorrow for that stream. Anyway, folks, Take care. See you later. Merry Christmas. Do this again.